What's good, YouTube? I got another one for you right here. Oh yeah, by the way, Dub Digital here. I come to you with crypto news and economics. I'm on Zero Hedge, and I just found an article that's pretty interesting. So 80% of New York City restaurants couldn't afford rent in June. Shocker. Shocker. Wow. I mean, why would why wouldn't someone who doesn't have money in May have money in June and have money in July? And not only have money for that month they missed, but all the future months. It doesn't make sense. But anyway, let's get to it. The majority of restaurant owners around the city did not pay their entire rent in June, with 36% skipping out on it altogether as the coronavirus pandemic continues to make it harder for eateries to survive. A new survey found, according to the Commercial Observer, the nonprofit New York City Hospitality Alliance surveyed 509 restaurateurs around the city and found out 4 out of 5 didn't pay the full June rent. Of those, 90% said they paid half or less last month. Rent is putting enormous financial pressure on restaurants, bars, and clubs after 4 near fatal moments of economic disasters, which many have already shuttered for good. Whatever. Shuttered for good, said Andrew. Pre-pandemic, it was incredibly difficult to run a successful restaurant, added Riggy. What kind of name is that? These conditions, the longer it goes on, is going to make it more and more challenging for small businesses to ever recover. The vast majority of small businesses will not be able to pay back months of missed rent. Yes. I mean, look, these are small businesses. Small business has less cash flow than corporate blue chip companies, okay? Less cash flow, smaller margins, usually higher operating costs, usually higher material costs because they can't order in quantities where they get savings. Small businesses have it harder, and now they have it the hardest because larger companies are coming in, and they're just getting free money from the government. They're getting free money from the government, and in fact, some of these companies came in to steal money from the small businesses. That's why some of these companies were giving money back, because they knew that they were wrong in taking that money. Let's move on. As the report further notes, the survey also found that landlords have been unwilling to give restaurants a break. 60% of restaurant owners said their landlords refused to give them deferments during the pandemic. Refused. Look, this is, you can't have some mercy and no mercy. You gotta make it level for everybody in situations like this. If you're going to give people help financially, especially people who don't need the help, you need to make sure that everyone is abiding by these rules, or people are gonna get slipped through the cracks, and that's ridiculous. Okay, let's move on. 6% of restaurant owners said their landlords refused to give them deferments for the pandemic, while only 10% were able to renegotiate their leases. In total, 73% of landlords, also under economic stress, refused to waive rent payments for their restaurants, bars, clubs in June, the poll found. And I do quote, "Our small businesses urgently need support on rent, so government officials, landlords, banks need to work together to find a solution." Amen. Whether it's direct rent subsidies, deferred rent, and extending payment schedules to the back end of the lease agreement, and other creative ideas, we are in the midst of a rent crisis and need action now. Hey, Reggie, I think I'm killing your name, but you're killing it. You're killing it. You're getting it. Where's the support? Don't tell me you support me. Show me you support me, government. Show me you support small businesses. But the thing they don't tell you here is that it's not about saving the small businesses. They don't want the small businesses. Small businesses are competition for multinational corporations. So they want to get rid of the competition as fast as possible. And the only way to do this is to kill the small businesses. Well, how come it's easy to get your big business loans, but you can't get a small business loan? They just happen to not have enough staff. Really? They run departments related to small businesses every single year. They have price data. They have labor loading data. They got everything they need to forecast. And if you know that you expect a liquidity crisis, a liquidity crisis that the government caused, and the government can't even forecast to up their hiring to support these departments that are going to have influxes of employment, influxes of small business loans that are needed. It blows my mind. 80% of New York restaurants can't pay their rent. What does that mean to the New York economy? What does that mean to the American economy? New York is a huge economy. New York is a huge consumer economy. So is California. But what happens when people don't pay their rents and money isn't backed by anything? Money is debt. It's built on a promise. And if these people who promise to pay you money back don't, where does that leave you? Where does that leave everyone who is counting on money and dollars, who is counting on a flow of income, who is counting on the integrity of the money they use and save in and provide for their family for? They can no longer do so. This is a problem. Because the second these deferments go away, the second these banks stop being buddy and they get to the bottom line and they gotta impress their board members and their shareholders, they are going to cut people's loans. They're gonna call these loans in. So get ready, man. America's caught in a weird place between capitalism and socialism, but we're neither of them. We're not social enough to give people enough help that matters. And we're not capitalist enough to leave them the hell alone and let the world figure stuff out. We are doing the worst of both worlds, in my opinion. Alright, interesting article I found interesting. Gives you some insight as to how things are in different cities, big metropolitan areas in the United States. And look at this kind of information as foretelling, as a forecast for things yet to come. You tell me if 80% of New York restaurants not paying rent in June is a good thing. I think it's pretty easy. Thanks for listening, guys. Dub Digital here, going over crypto and economic news that help you navigate this crazy investing time. Alright, guys. Thanks. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.